Good morning, my beautiful lotus petals. Welcome to Uma's Morning Light, your daily dose of inspiration and metaphysical guidance to start your day. I am not on screen today. I'm actually traveling. So when I travel, I bring you guys with me and I do what I got to do, but I'm not going to be on screen. So welcome in. And thank you for joining me for episode 37 of season 1 of Uma's Morning Light. Ding! I don't have my bell even. That's crazy. I gotta get like a travel bell. But yeah, we have 3 episodes left in this Uma's Morning Light podcast. I've had so much fun creating it, and I hope that when I restart in August, season 2, you guys will come back because we will have some great stuff for you. Now, remember, for those of you that are watching me live on TikTok and on YouTube, I do take a question at the end of the show and talk about it and share on it. So if you're watching me live right now and you have a question for a spiritual teacher, a psychic medium, a healer, those are all my titles. An author, right? I've written the Chronicles of a Spirit Walker and The Awakened Life. So if you have a question for me about anything in those areas, please feel free to drop it in the comments and I will definitely get to it at the end of the show. All right, so for those of you that are watching on live on YouTube, we have a beautiful YouTube channel. It's called Relaxed Vibes. Just hit that subscribe button when you go there. And we have June will bring you blessings, wealth, love, and good luck. Miraculous frequency, 1111 hertz. So we're going to have that as our background music. We're going to have that as our background music, and you guys will have something beautiful to look at while we do our show this morning. All right. Okay, let's get to it, guys. We're going to always start with a mindfulness moment to set our energy, calibrate our energy for a wonderful day. So just for 1 minute, if you would place your hands on your heart with me. Gosh, every time I touch my heart, it feels so amazing. And let's go ahead and breathe in, breathe out, and say these words in your mind as you breathe in and out with me. All right? Let's take a nice deep breath in. Breathe in peace. Breathe out fear. Breathe in ease. Breathe out stress. Breathe in love. Breathe out hate. Breathe in compassion. Breathe out resentment. Breathe in unity. Breathe out separation. Now let's state our affirmation of the day. Repeat after me. I am worthy of love, abundance, and joy. I am worthy of love, abundance, and joy. I am worthy of love, abundance, and joy. Nice deep breath in and exhale. Beautiful. Let's get our daily energy reading for the collective community. Now, you guys know if you want your own personal message, you can come to my TikTok channel. I am live right now on TikTok. And if you subscribe to my channel, you can choose a card today, A, B, or C, for your message. If you're not a subscriber, you can still get a message by sending whatever pinned gift that we have. Right now, we have a flamingo gift that is pinned for a message. But this message today is for the collective conscious community. And our message today is disruption. A sudden, unforeseen disruption or major change is happening or about to take place. Even if it appears to be negative, it can lead to enlightenment or a total shift in your lifestyle. In traditional tarot, this card represents the falling tower that eventually crumbles due to its weak foundation. Whichever part of your life you focus on, this is an opportunity to rebuild with a solid positive structure to make you or this situation even stronger. There are times when the most difficult situations arise in your life. If you choose to, they can act as a catalyst to heal other areas. They're beneficial because they're truly your greatest teachers. Learn from past mistakes, accept them, and integrate them into your life as stepping stones. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. This disruption card is a reminder that negative thinking, limiting beliefs, ignoring problematic situations, and risky or careless lifestyles must be addressed so that positive changes can take place. Life has a habit of moving you forward whether you're ready or not. Transformation of body, mind, and soul can happen if you view this dramatic time or change as an opportunity for growth. In the future, you may look back and be thankful for this opportunity. I love this card because this morning, if you're on my social media channels, you will see that I did a Truth Tuesday post where I talked about a situation that happened a long time ago. But I talked about it because I got clarity today. So let me tell you about this that happened a while ago. A while ago, I had reconnected with two old friends that I hadn't talked to before the pandemic. But you know, the beautiful thing about the pandemic is that it brought people together. And they reached out to check on me, which I appreciated, and I reached out to check on them. And we started to kind of get back in the groove of chatting online. So I wanted to take it a step further and meet them in person. I was going to New York with my partner to visit his friends and family, and I decided to include them as part of that trip. I asked if we could visit. They said yes. I took my man and went to their house. When we got there, it was a little unwelcoming. One of my friends sat on her computer the whole time and barely acknowledged me or my partner. And the other friend was kind of cold, a little distant. I was uncomfortable. And I know my man was super uncomfortable because he's now meeting them for the first time and they weren't that welcoming. Besides, we had also driven like 6 hours to get to their house, so we were exhausted. And my man, like most Americans now, smokes weed. Not a big deal. Legal in our state and in New York. So when we got there, I asked them if he could step outside to smoke. And they said yeah. And I didn't think it was a big deal because I know both of them smoke weed and they've done other things, besides that. So I didn't think it was a big deal. And then their children came down And I met them and they'd grown big. They were teenagers now. And I talked to them a little bit. My man was rolling up. And then he went outside to smoke. And I continued talking to them. And then when he was done, we decided to leave. It was a kind of okay visit, but, I didn't think much about it. Until later, a mutual connection reached out to me and told me that they talked about that visit. And they talked about it by saying that, they didn't like my man, that he, smoked in front of the kids, and they tried to make it out like he was this kind of addict or something. And that really disappointed me, and it hurt me, because what really hurt me was the hypocrisy, because these girls have done way worse. And he didn't smoke in front of their kids, and they weren't even kids, they were teenagers. And I know for a fact that they know about that stuff. But nevertheless, I didn't fight, I didn't argue, I didn't try to tell this mutual connection my point of view and how everything went down. I just let them run with it, because the bigger message for me was that this is my past. And I don't need to go backwards. I need to keep going forward. Because that particular group of people that I used to hang out with, they drink a lot. They do smoke and they do other things. And that's just not my vibe. So, TikTok restricted me because of the content that we're talking about. Yeah, because this is an adult. I should have put over 21. I wonder if I can do that now. Settings. I don't know how to change it now to over 21. Well, let me wrap that conversation up. Basically, what I wanted to say is, as I was meditating this morning, I realized that I had really felt ashamed by their comments of what they said. And I held on to that shame for a long time, despite the fact that my man is a wonderful, wonderful person. And, he's great. So I allowed two people that don't really know me anymore, and who were kind of, let's be real, they're being kind of hypocritical to talk about him in such a way when they do the same things. I allowed that to kind of color my vision, of me, of my man, of my relationship. And today, now this happened years ago. Isn't that funny? But today, when I was meditating, that came right back up. And it just reminded me that you gotta let things go. And you can't let other people's perception of you or what you got going on to taint the way you see it. Does that make sense? Good morning, Belinda. And that was my takeaway. And that's why I did my post today for Truth Tuesday. It's not to shame them. They might see it. They follow me on Facebook, so they might see it. It's not to shame them. It's just to talk about the situation, about how I felt after that. Because when the mutual connection told me what they said about me and said about my man, it made me feel shame, And I'm sitting here now, years later, thinking, why am I feeling ashamed for something that everybody do, that's legal, that's, he has a prescription for? Like, I don't even understand where these feelings were coming from. But it resurfaced, and it resurfaced for me to heal. So the moral of the story is, sometimes people from your past, right? They come into your life to show you how far you've come. And sometimes how they have not moved at all. And you got to leave it there. You don't got to hate them. You don't got to talk negatively about them. You just got to leave them there and let them think what they want to think and judge how they want to judge and do what they want to do. You know, you can't let that affect your peace, your happiness. Now, here's the other part of this. After we left that house, right, we went to visit his family and his friends. And let me tell you something. This is the part that is really, really hard for me to understand, because his friends and family have been so welcoming to me. So welcoming to me. His mom is crazy. I'm closer to his mom than I am to my own mom. I can call his mom and talk to her about anything I'm going through. In fact, she knows more about the silent struggles I go through more than my own family do. And it's just funny, you know, how that can happen like that. So I share this message with you because this disruption card says something's coming for those of you that are listening, and it may be a shakeup, it may be a dust up, but I want you to know that growth comes out of these uncomfortable situations. You just got to be open to receiving the growth that is attached to the lesson. And that is my message for the day. So let's get into the astrology and numerology of today, as well as the horoscopes for today. Today in astrology, we have the first quarter moon is in Virgo. This is a phase that encourages reflection, reassessment, and progress on intentions set during the new moon. So that's kind of interesting that I was reflecting, right? And then the Jupiter square Saturn Neptune conjunction suggests difficulties navigating emotional boundaries, and we may struggle with finding reasonable expectations of others and ourselves and blurring the lines between fantasy and reality. Today is a universal 8 number. Is it? Wait a minute. I didn't add that right. June 3rd, 2025. So that's 6. Okay, so it's an energy of 9 today, which is endings, completion, spiritual discovery, and learning of things. Okay, so today you're going to be finding out things, but you're also going to be closing doors as well. So let's get into the horoscopes for each person. Aries, today focus on embracing change and prioritizing your personal happiness over compromise. Taurus, entertain all ideas, even unconventional ones, and prepare for potential financial gain. Gemini, find depth in your chosen family and a romantic opportunity. Leo, balance risk and reward with career prospects involving travel or multiple locations. Virgo, embrace emotional self-discovery and future-altering decisions. Libra, keep thoughts private and explore new learning opportunities. Scorpio, maximize your current resources and take love seriously. Sagittarius, focus on creating your own path to success with support from a friend. Capricorn, gain clarity in personal foundations with luck in shared initials. Aquarius, evolve by sustaining dialogue and setting emotional boundaries. And Pisces, find strength in adhering to values with romantic alignment on future goals. That is the message for today, Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. As we come to the end of our time together, I'm going to give you your self-care tip of the day. Today's tip is to write down your top 3 goals and take 1 action. Why? Because goals floating around in your head are just ideas. But when you write them down, you give them form, focus, direction. You go from someday to let's begin. Writing your goals also brings clarity. It shows you what actually matters. And when you take even one small step towards one of those goals, whether it's sending an email, making a list, or researching a next move, you shift from dreaming to doing. Momentum doesn't come from giant leaps. It comes from aligned, intentional actions done consistently. This practice says, I believe in my vision enough to take the first step. And once you take that step, the next one gets easier. So today, grab a journal or a sticky note, write your top 3 goals, take 1 inspired action. Your future self is already clapping for you. That is the self-care tip of the day. So I want to remind you guys that I am in summer mode, summer vacay mode. So when I do come on to TikTok to do readings, it's going to be sporadic, whenever I have a free moment here and there. Not on a schedule. Schedules come back in August. And YouTube, I am going to be coming onto YouTube to also do some live readings from time to time. So follow me on YouTube, The Lotus and the Light, and look out, hit that notification bell so that you can look out for me when I come on there. When I come onto YouTube, I will be doing some free oracle messages. That's different than TikTok, so definitely check that out. That's all for now, my lotus petals. And remember, each and every day, you are the lotus flower rising through the mud to share your beauty with the world. May peace, love, and light guide your path today and every day. Namaste.